Welcome back into another episode of the Spaceman 2.0 Phoenix Truth Rising Show. Here to help you grow in the knowledge and wisdom of truth, and the truth will make you free. With the best history lesson and spiritual insights on the planet, exposure of the Illuminati's plan of world conquest and control is the death knell to the New World Order. So let's get right back into the Phoenix Operator Owner Manual, your flight instructions for the Phoenix. And before we get totally into the 12 deadly sins of human, thought there was only 7? Well, now there's 12. We're going to go over some of the most incredible spiritual information on the planet, just like I said, keeping up with the moniker. Remember here, when speaking of the computer personnel, Druthia, Thomas, or Dharma, there are the scribes, but the hosts of heaven relating the information is Izu, Emmanuel, Jesus, Lord Michael, and Saint Germain. Recognizing and defining the most deadly sins of human. We are your hosts, Ananda, Lord Michael, Germain, and Druthia, in service to the truth and wisdom which is only of the holy light of God, ATON, and the creation. We come from the cosmic council of the light of God, ATON, the one within all, to bring to you, our brethren, the truth, that you too may join in the joy of oneness, the lighted brotherhood within God's holy kingdom of light, truth, beauty, and wisdom. First, we would like to give careful clarification of our use of terms to represent God, ATON. You will find that we often say Father within, or refer to ATON as a he, signaling male gender. This way, we term our Creator in your language is not meant as a sexual gender, as you recognize same. Our Creator God, ATON, represents both male-female principles. If you will, there is no sexual gender differential. The spirit of life is what you may understand in limited language, male-female energy representation. As are all of you. You each have a chosen body, male or female, for your experience. Only both energies are represented within each of you. Also, you will find examples used in which you will say he, which we mean as a general human term for humanity, not specific sexual gender. This we explain so that the ones who are in female physical form do not feel slighted or that we honor them less. And so also ones in male physical form do not feel more or less than equal to female humans. All fragments of Creator creation are equal in reflection regardless of what color or gender of physical form is taken. In your own minds, if you prefer to call and refer to God, ATON creation, as Mother, Father, Creator creation, then so be it. Now, we would like to bring light and understanding onto what the question all of you have struggled with, and that is, what is evil? But before you can have understanding of what is evil, we must help you to understand what is God. Since the laws of God in creation given forth have described God as the ruler of the human races and the king of wisdom, then this in itself implies that God is a great being of spiritual wisdom and perfection within the creation. But to confine what God is to limits of third-dimensional human language and perception alone is a mistake. Because of the limited boundaries of your plane, you have not yet developed the capability of defining a limitless being or state of being. Since our God Creator has created us, what this means is that He has fragmented Himself as the creation fragmented itself in the creation of God, in order to expand and experience more of the totality of the One. This is why God's laws, the laws of nature, the laws of balance, and the laws of the creation all exist as the same universal laws of cohesive harmony and oneness. Universal laws are the cosmic codes of unlimited creative unfoldment, which allows the greatest degree of expansion and of expression of the totality of all that is. Each fragment exists as a part of the Creator, God, and thus as a part of the creation as well. The cosmic codes or laws are the keys of logic which maintain the balanced coalescence of creative, unfolding expansion of the one all that is. So by learning to recognize that which limits your expanding creative potential, you will identify that which keeps you bound to your illusion of separation from the one. And by gaining the wisdom of knowledge of what is evil, sin, and adversary to God in creation, you will then be able to wisely move your awareness to what is your personal responsibility in the co-creation of the love of life, which is the joy of wholeness and oneness of the limitless creation. So to repeat, to move your awareness to what is your personal responsibility in the co-creation of the love of life, which is the joy of wholeness and oneness of the limitless creation. So then now, what is evil? Evil, also called Satan or adversary, is all thought and energy it creates, which it allowed or is chosen through free will to exist. Let me repeat that. So then now, what is evil? Evil, also called Satan or adversary, is all thought and the energy it creates, which is allowed or is chosen through free will to exist, which confines and limits the expansion and expression of creative unfoldment of the totality of oneness. It is that which swims against the flow of cosmic creation in order to feel itself in separation, and thus it exists only within boundaries or limits of the whole. It is self-consuming in that it seeks to dominate the whole, and because it can only dominate within its own self-imposed boundaries, it finally is consumed itself by the rushing waters of the expanding one. Now, many ones in their exuberance of finally grasping the concept that all is one will oftentimes believe that they must now be all allowing, since all are choosing experience as part of the one. We will hear one say things such as, "There is no good and bad, all is just experience, it just is. Therefore, how can I judge something with such as behavior or action to be bad or good for another when it is not my experience or right to judge another?" Getting back into this in part 2. What we say to this is, you can allow yourselves into perpetuity, but if you do not recognize those thoughts, words, and deeds which are contrary